I have no idea why those guys wear those bands around their elbows. I think it's just for show, but there might be some medical reason for it. Maybe there's a viewer out there that would know what that's all about, but I really don't know. I haven't asked, and just as long as it's red, black, or white, or silver, I'm fine with those guys wearing that. If I wasn't a football coach, I would probably, I would say when I was younger, I probably would have got into real estate of some kind, whether it would be a developer or a builder. I think that's where my life would have gone. Well, if you want to go through a week with me, on Sundays the players have off. There's no obligation to them at all. They may come in for some treatment, but other than that, there's no activities that are mandatory. On Mondays, we get a good lift in, we get a good run in. We do a little bit of special teams work in practice and just a little bit of inside running game, but not much at all. A lot of meetings to cover the film of the game we just played, and then we also have our honor roll where we award or reward the guys that had some great play on the field or maybe some great academics from the week prior. Tuesday's a pads day. We work mostly on our inside running game, play action pass game, things of that nature. Anything where we need to be in full pads, like our extra point field goal, we work on that day. And then on Wednesday, we'll have what we call shells, which is helmets, shoulder pads, and thigh pads. And on that day, we'll do more of our drop back pass, screens, and draws. Work hard on our pass rush during that day, and then maybe do a little conditioning on Wednesday. Usually we'll condition on Thursday, but not necessarily on Wednesday. And then Thursday we'll go in just just helmets, shorts and helmets, and it's kind of a dress rehearsal day. If it's a game that's away, we'll go into our stadium and we'll try to work against some kind of crowd noise. We'll crank up the loudspeakers to where we have to use hand signals to communicate, and then just kind of you go all scout teamwork. We'll go against just the guys that are helping give the picture of, say, Vanderbilt this week. And then on Friday we don't practice at all, but we do meet, and we'll have meetings with the coaches. Then the players will go to the hotel out of town. On Friday, Saturday, we'll get up, like this week, for example, get up earlier in the morning, have a breakfast, which will end up being a pregame meal, jump on the bus, come straight to the stadium, and right to the dog walk. We used to go to the dog walk with our full gear on, but now we're going to our dog walk with our travel sweats. We go right into the locker room, the guys change into their gear, and then we get ready to play the game. My main role now, as far as offensive game planning, is to I'll sit in my office, I'll watch film apart from the staff. I'll have ideas that I think might be good, whether it's third medium, third long, red zone plays, anything I see that I think might be of value. I usually just give that to Mike Bobo to decide whether or not he wants to use it or not. I'm not going to make them incorporate anything into the game plan. I just want to help generate ideas. And then game day, my biggest job is to make sure I'm there to call a timeout when needed. A lot of times we'll be driving and we'll be in a situation we have to decide, should we kick a field goal, should we punt, should we go for it on fourth down. And I'll always be there to tell Mike, for example, if we're somewhere around going inside the 40 to the 35-yard line, I might say, look, Mike, you go ahead and know that you got 2 downs to get this thing. It might be third down and 5, and I'll say, look, Mike, go. You got 2 downs to get it, meaning that we're going to go for it on fourth down if need be. Or I'll say, look, if we don't get it, we're going to kick a field goal. Or if we don't gain any yards at all, we're going to pooch punt. Or if we gain half the distance, we'll kick a field goal. So we got to be ready with a field goal team. We got to be ready with a punt team, and possibly be ready to go for on fourth down. And those are the kind of things that need to be managed. The other thing that, like in this last game, for example, before we had that great drive before the end of the first half, we were deep in our territory, and we tried to run the ball out twice, and we didn't have much success. And then Mike asked me if we should take a shot to get that first down or just run it again and punt if we don't make it. And I told him just to use your best third and long play and let's go for it. And so we were able to get that first down when Matthew hit no-shot on the check down, and then continued the drive from there. And so the other thing is the head coach is able to call timeouts where the assistant coach are not able to. So there's a lot of times in that drive, for example, when we knew the ball was going to be tackled in bounds, I immediately went to the officials and got the timeout. Instead of trying to get Stafford's attention to get the timeout, I could call it immediately and save a few ticks on the clock. So, we all work together on it. And I'll say this, I don't trump many calls at all. The only thing I'll do during the game is in between series I'll try to make a suggestion if I have one. Normally I don't. I think Mike is doing a great job and really doesn't need much interference from me. The good news right now is we're 5-1. We're still right at the top of the SEC East, along with Florida and Vanderbilt right now. And we haven't really played our best game yet. We really haven't put it all together, in my opinion. We can still get much better up front on both sides of the ball, although I believe we're improving greatly to this point. I think that we certainly can be more disciplined when it comes to these penalties. We're still trying to find the right buttons to push to make sure that doesn't happen. I think that we can always get better on some of the pressures that we have, a lot of our blitzes and the coverages behind it. There's so many things that we can get better at. We had 2 turnovers last game in the red zone, which we hadn't done really at all. Matthew only had one interception all season long, and then we had 2. So, we drop a ball, going in on one of those drives, and we just have not played a game where we put it all together. So hopefully those games are still ahead of us, and they'll come right at the right time.